And that
Third round action. Baptiste knows several statistics, Sean, about Hopkins, who has an impressive knockout record, 12 knockouts in the first round. He has 16 knockouts all total in his career, Hopkins does, but only 2 of them have come after the third round. So Baptiste, part of his strategy is here we are in the third round. Just get through the third round, as you said before, smother those punches, stay in close, go to the body, try to wear down a guy who's not used to going rounds.
Right, and he's doing just that. You stay on the inside like that, put some pressure on your opponent. He cannot get any extension on his punches.
But Hopkins unleashing with the power.
Take a look at Hopkins' trunks. They're way up high. It's an old-time trick that a lot of fighters use. See how thick that band is?
And if there's no hitting below the waist, not much of a target for Gilbert Baptiste.
Well, you have to, if you're Baptiste, you have to try to get underneath those elbows, and it's very difficult to do, very hard to do.
Hopkins, who had over 100 amateur fights, both fighters are 27 years of age. Baptiste had over 90 fights, fought in the Marine Corps. Steve Smoger is the third man in the ring. We're in round number 3. It is scheduled for 12, the USBA Middleweight Championship. Al Albert along with the champ, Sean O'Grady, ringside in Denver, Colorado. And we have Alex Garcia versus Mike Williams coming up in a scheduled 12-round NABF heavyweight title fight.
Busy round. They want for Baptiste to keep that pressure on. Oh, he does. Good overhand right. He's found a home for that overhand right.
And this is Baptiste. Puts the head right on the chest of his opponent and barrels in.
This is the way he loves to fight. He has never been in a boring fight. Get in there and get with it.
He made his mark with a 10-round victory over Ron Collins, then went over to France to fight Laurent Buntwani, who was 15-0 with 14 knockouts, and Baptiste stopped him in the 8th round. Next fight, he stopped the tough Ron Amundsen in 3 rounds. That catapulted him into the junior middleweight world championship fight when he lost in 12, a decision to Gianfranco Rossi on Rossi's home turf. The infighting continues. Turnout here in Denver as Gilbert Baptiste moves into the 4th round against the #1 middleweight Bernard Hopkins.
Good turnout here. A lot of good fight fans here in Denver. Good overhand right from Bernard Hopkins, who sets that up with a jab to the body. Mix your attack. And this is a different Bernard Hopkins than we saw earlier in this fight. Remember that first round? He was standing toe-to-toe with Baptiste. He is moving more now.
And in the corner of Gilbert Baptiste, the son of Archie Moore, Billy Moore, and he is trying to shake Gilbert Baptiste heading into the 4th round. This is what he had to say after the 3rd round.
Success is right. He's not stepping his left hand back. So what is that open for? Okay, overhand right, you come back with what? How many? That's right. That's right. Gilbert, look, man. You got the whole country watching you. Like I told you before. That's a multi-million-dollar organization that comes to win.
And they go at one another here in the 4th.
And you cannot afford to have a point taken away. A warning earlier this round from Smoger for rabbit punching for Baptiste.
Billy Moore saying it's just the little old us against that multi-million-dollar organization working on Gilbert Baptiste. Billy Moore yelling from the corner.
And they have
Baptiste saying, wake up, Gilbert.
They have Hopkins hopping now. Backwards, dancing, moving, trying to stay on the outside.
Billy Moore boxed a little bit, but he liked football better than that. Was on a scholarship at Cal State. He said his father fought enough for the whole family.
144 knockouts. His dad set the record. Some more instructions from Steve Smoger.
Let him out, Bert. Let him out.
The main event, Alex Garcia, the number 4 ranked heavyweight in the world. Just a couple of steps away from a possible world title fight. His name is always mentioned now as a possible opponent. And Garcia's got to look attractive. He takes on Mike Williams, who has fought a couple of former heavyweight champions. Archie Moore is also here. You know, it was back in 41 years ago, 1952, that Archie Moore fought Clint Bacon right here in Denver, Colorado. Closing seconds of the 4th. Bernard Hopkins being extended by Gilbert Baptiste into round number 5. Hopkins 21-1 with 16 knockouts. And only one of his knockouts have come in the 5th round, none after the 5th. Baptiste has had 17 10-round affairs. Hopkins has had only 3. And those are the only times he's been past the 6th. So right now, the neutralizer for Baptiste is to just extend Hopkins as long as he can. Baptiste has had 4 12-round fights. Hopkins, none. And this is scheduled for 12. Doing a job working in the corner of Baptiste to close that cut at the side of his left eye. Billy Moore yelling out to Baptiste, he's never fought anybody like you. Continues with the encouragement for his fighter.
And between rounds, Steve Smoger visited the corner of Baptiste and said, "Don't make me take a point." They wanted to keep his punches up. Now, against a fighter like Hopkins, we talked about the trunks coming way up on your belly. It doesn't take very much to hit a low blow.
Well, before the fight, though, they have designated...
In the instructions, the referee says, "Hey, I'm going to call here or low. Below the belt, I'm going to call low."
Well, it certainly makes it tougher for the official and also for a fighter.
You're concentrating on hitting your opponent in the body, but you have that big band there. Normally, you're used to seeing the band lower. Now suddenly you say, I've got to pinpoint my punches. They have to be real sharp to get into the body.
Although that last one was low. Hopkins from Philadelphia, born and raised. Baptiste, born in Newark, now resides in San Diego. He grew up amidst the gangs in Newark, and he said he wanted to prove himself with his fists, not guns and knives, and he went to a boxing school. He stayed with it, joined the Marines, fought in the Marines, now putting the pressure on upstairs against Bernard Hopkins. Inside 30 seconds to go in the 5th. Hopkins with his back against the ropes trying to fight.
But Hopkins is the one that's throwing punches. Baptiste is not.
On the face of Hopkins, it just kind of looks like he's having a good time in there. Against the stern Gilbert Baptiste, who is just a couple of slots down in the IBF at number 6.